Okay, let's get this right. Okay. Yeah, that seems about right. So, hi everybody. It's been a while since I've done something online, and there's a lot of reasons to that. I told a lot of stuff before I left offline, and today is not going to be a tarot reading or anything. I just thought I would take you into my hobby. So today I'm going to repot a little bonsai of mine and just keep talking a little bit. I know I don't see any messages. I'm not thinking that anybody's gonna join in, so let's just enjoy ourselves. Well, I broke this pot yesterday. I broke it because I was cleaning up outside. So normally I don't repot my plants like this, but this was necessary. Okay. So I got this little pot, and I think this pot would be good for it. So I'm just gonna try. It's gonna be a smaller pot. Loosen up the earth a little bit. Be careful with the roots. It has grown a little, but I think I got it in there for a year. So let's talk a little bit about uh, why I left the tarot um, and what happened in between. There was a lot that was going on, including with my family, and I was starting to wonder what would be more spiritual than breaking free from everything and just starting living my dreams, how I see life. And I started with thinking, how would I see life? And life to me is something that needs to be self-sustainable. Um, I did this with my aquariums. I set up aquariums, and they needed to be sustainable for themselves. And after a while, I started seeing that nature was something really beautiful because I set up the aquarium and they just kept evolving. And although they weren't subject to summer or winter and everything, they still got their cycles. And then I started thinking, if I start living this cycle, like I've been teaching everybody on the tarot channel back then, um, like we have um, each month, and we go through that specific sign. Like we say, we start with Aries, we start being Aries, but from the viewpoint of our own sign. And I did that the entire year since I left. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot changed. And it changed because all of a sudden it seemed like everything was working against me. And I couldn't understand. I was blaming everybody and everything. And because of that, I said, why am I actually doing this? Who put me up to starting to live my dream instead of everybody else's, or explaining and teaching and doing all these things? And the only answer you come up with is you. You are the one. You put your life up and you discover yourself along the way. But being as we are now in Taurus, it's the time to nurture your seeds. It's the time to water your seeds, because in Aries you have planted them. And I was thinking to myself, I planted a lot of seeds over the years, and I also let a lot of stuff go and die off. But along the way, it was like I was losing parts of myself. It was like I was teaching, and every time someone didn't listen to my teaching, I would lose a part of myself. And when you're doing tarot on a channel, these people, they all they want to connect with you spiritually, energetically, and they take parts of you. And this seems really stupid, but this is how it works. This is why big stars get big, because they use you to take from you. They don't give you shit. All they give you is their sorrow. That's what the songs are about. That's what the TV show is about. That's what the YouTube channel is about. And you take that shit because you're watching. But I did the opposite, and I was losing. It took me a whole year to figure that out, because since I left YouTube and since I started living my dream, I've built my kingdom. And my kingdom isn't much because I'm a poor motherfucker. I don't have a lot of money, but um, I have a self-sustainable garden. It seeds itself every year now, and I got a vegetable yard that I plant every year, which I plant my own seeds for, and I harvest my own seeds from. And everything that I do is to be self-sufficient. And for those that don't know, I live in Holland, and not everything grows here, but I have coffee, I have oranges, apples, peaches, plums, cherries, you name it, I got it. And with that, it actually all started when last year in December, not last year, the year before, uh, I I started building my chicken coop. And I said, oh, that would be nice. Every day, a little egg. And then why not go one step further and make sure that I have an Easter basket with all colorful eggs and everything. and make that a hobby, making new colors of eggs and everything. So I started that, and I did it for a year, and a lot of my chickens died. I didn't know why, because I didn't know about lice and mite and sour crop and all these things, but it didn't matter. I kept going, and every chicken I have is bred by myself. The love that I put in there, it actually showed up this year. After going through all that shit for a whole year, trying to live out my dream, and trying to be in every sign. So starting with Aries, planting the seed, Taurus, nurturing the seed, Gemini, making the mind up, seeing what the seed will grow into, and 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 putting your picture out there, using your mind. And then again in Cancer, making it feel like home, making it feel like part of you. And then in Leo, taking control, picking out the weeds, watering and nurturing, being a father to your animals, and all these things. Once you get in that cycle, things start happening that are miraculous. You cannot explain that to anyone that hasn't done it. So I've built my workshop last year. This year I'm going to build a bigger chicken coop with more um, nests, so I get the chickens have more room to lay their eggs and everything. But I thought to myself, what am I going to do today? Because I want to start building that chicken coop. And actually, I thought maybe it's a good thing to take you guys with me through that journey and start filming it and editing and doing stuff like that. And maybe along the way, we can see if we can draw in the tarot again and build that community back up. But there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. A lot of shifts have been happening. A lot of energetic shifts that we didn't expect would happen. Although the shifts that were happening, I all predicted them, and they're still online. You can still see it. I I I also, the things that I said, I didn't take it off. The things that I said out of anger, because people didn't listen to what I say and didn't understand the message. And I don't like editing videos and things like that. That's not who I am. I live for something, and I will show you something raw. Now with the chicken coop thing, I will edit everything because it's going to be days of work, and I'm not going to film days at a piece. But for things like this, like potting a little plant and talking a little bit spiritual stuff, I think it's okay to be raw and to um, jump back into what once was, right? So I want to show you everything that I've done, and I think it's best that I stop talking and start putting this plant in this darn pot. But yeah, I needed to get that off my chest. I don't know why, but it has been bugging me a long time because people didn't understand what was really happening. Now, I gotta cut some of these roots. They will grow back. Get the lumps out of there. And I did prepare this really well. Okay, if I'm gonna put it in like this, I want to see these roots. I want to see the top roots, but there's only one. It's a little bit of I have to bring it over like that. So it starts in one corner and it ends in the other. And then maybe I can pop this little root out of the soil. Let's see. I'm gonna get some scissors. Be right back. Just a sec. So yeah, I didn't take the camera with me because I didn't want to lose the setup that I have. I'm sitting here in the middle of the couch. It's really perfect. The sun is starting to shine. It was a little bit cloudy today. That's why I didn't start the chicken coop actually, because I thought it was gonna rain. And didn't want to clean up all that shit again. So we're gonna cut off some of these roots, and we see it's grown from the front. It's not really grown down. So everything, all the growth is coming from here. So we're gonna cut this off. This is good for your plants. Also your other house plants. If you cut some of the roots off, it provokes growth, new life. Okay, let's see. That looks about right. I'm gonna pour some soil in. And it's a shame that I do not have any old subjects that I can pick on before I left, because I didn't memorize anything. And that root, I cannot get that root out of the soil. Maybe I gotta tilt it like that. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Now, when you repot a plant, it's really important to get all the soil, because underneath the roots there's now little chambers, and these chambers they accumulate water when you water your plant, and it causes root rot. So what you need to do is take something sharp. Normally they take a chopstick or something, a pincet, and the point will do well, and you start poking it. Don't crush the roots, but poke underneath the roots, and you see that the soil will go underneath. And keeping it in that position, normally when you use a bonsai pot or something, you can wire your tree up. But I wanted to let you see this in a normal pot, so you can see that you can still put the plant steady in its pot when you use this method. You can see that the soil the soil is disappearing underneath there. So I'm just gonna put it here because all the real pressure has got to be there to keep the plant standing upright enough. So I'm gonna put in some more soil. But you guys, if there's any old viewers that are watching this, just let me know if you want to see some more tarot, and if you would like to see me building that chicken coop. Of course, I'm not gonna monetize this channel anymore. If I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be for fun. It's getting there. Still not enough. So, see, there was a few people online already. Well, maybe it's a good thing that I talk about some astrology that's happening right now. And I take my phone with me. Wait, I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna take my phone so I can look at the chart. Maybe I can answer some questions about astrology for you guys. If you want to know how to move forward right now. This is not. Now, I'm gonna do something I normally don't. I'm gonna put the screwdriver under here. I'm gonna take my phone and we're gonna do something. Now, when I look at the astrology card to make it really easy for you, I always like to see visuals, where things are. Everybody can say, oh, Mars is in that, but it's specific where in Aries it is. Is it is in the start of the sign or at the finish and moving into another sign. Those, if you know what the planets mean and the signs mean, that is going to give you a lot of information about transitions of energy. It's important to know when you're moving from Aries into Taurus, for instance, so you know that um, the nurturing part. Aries plants a seed and he goes. He doesn't look behind him or anything. He just does. Okay? I am. He just does. But Taurus, he knows who he is, and he says, but I care, and I want to bring life. I want to nurture soil. Okay? So and Taurus isn't afraid to work hard for something. So I always go to the planets for today. So if you want to check on your planets and stuff like that, that's the same page I use. Now, we just left that full moon in Scorpio, and that full moon in Scorpio that just happened, really significant. And especially for the people that have been on this journey for a long time, because that moon just shifted everything. You are getting back what you have lost over the past 13 years. But there comes a big warning, and maybe that's something that I needed to say. The upcoming 9 years, it's a judgment. Because at this moment, after this full moon in Scorpio, you are receiving everything back that you've lost over the years. The things people took from you and or and never give you back, but where you have been taken for granted, and because of that you lost a part of yourself. Like I said in the beginning of this video, why I quit working on YouTube. As soon as you if you uh, if you are with a person in a relationship, and it doesn't matter what relationship that is, if you're doing stuff from your heart and you're trying to help someone else, and that person takes that help for granted, that part where you were trying to help them with, it gets dented with inside of you. And the more dents at the same part you get, it destroys a part of you that you all of a sudden stop believing in. And this is actually what you need to understand. Where did I lose everything? And why did I have these confrontations with people that were so close to me? So the universe has a weird way of showing you why you are here. It's not about your friends. Yes, when you're young, it's all about your friends, because you don't see that your friends, they generally want to have a good time with you, but you don't see that everybody's in it for themselves. And it doesn't matter how you look at it, from a business aspect, from a love aspect, everything that happens is because someone else is in it for themselves. It's never for the other. And that's why the universe is shifting everything back now. Okay, you have seen what you have lost, and the hurt and everything, it left a mark. Now you can choose. Are you going to stay and wallow in that which hurt you? Or are you going to do one thing? Are you going to water your garden, nurture your seeds, and step out into the world again a little bit wiser, but still from that point of innocence where you are willing to help, but you know when people are dragging their feet and actually stealing from you instead of giving to you. A lot of people that used to work like that, they are now going to see that um, a big change is happening, that their old ways are not going to work. And we are already seeing that within the government. And this is very important, because it's always micro, macro. You always look at the small things within yourself, then within your family, then within your country, then what's happening in the world. Only if you do this, you can see past the propaganda, because they don't adjust things to each other, and you can walk the middle line. Because how stupid this is going to sound, our universe is perfect the way it is. We do not need to change anything. God put us here to figure that out, because everything you always needed to do was just live your life. But we are stalkers. We always want to know what's happening with the other person, and we love to fight about it. Oh, look at him. Oh, what is this? And not to misjudge what Trump is doing, because I love what Trump is doing. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you need to rattle the cage to wake some people up. But for someone to quote God and saying he's going to go back to religion and do everything right, he has cast a lot of first stones. And that is not going to be taken for granted. But it just goes to show that if you believe in God or not, you better. Because our matrix is set up the way the Bible has written it. And everything that was past is future. So you need to look at it like this. We start thinking from a third dimensional mindset. And that third dimensional mindset, it's what we do when we are teenagers. We go out, we play, we love our life and do everything that God forbid, right? And we build experience. But then we come to a 4D mindset where we see consequences and things like that. This is where a lot of people, they either accept the consequences and just do it anyway, or they accept that there's consequences, or that those were the consequences, and they stop living. They grow old and stay in that third dimensional mind space because they are afraid of the fourth. If you didn't do that and you accepted that there were consequences and you blamed yourself for the things you did, and you had to learn how to forgive yourself, but most of all the people around you, because they were at the same space you were when you were in the 3D. Then you start to understand it's time to move on and deepen that quantum thinking. Micro, macro. I'm not even going to talk about 5-dimensional thinking, because most of you will not reach that. I'm sorry to say that, because there's a lot of readers on YouTube and they're good. They can read, but they are still in the pain, and they try to push on to things that happen to them, but they happen to you as well. So they still see themselves as an individual. You are not. You are me. I am you. And when you are five-dimensional, you understand why there was 144,000. Because there's only 12 of us. And those 12 are all searching for becoming the one. But the one, and this is what you're seeing in the government, everybody wants to be the top government. No, America's making truce. Europe says no, America's bad. We want to make truce. They're fighting about who is going to conclude truce in a war that they started themselves, and they all collaborated amongst themselves because they don't want to lose face to their people, where their propaganda is running. So I'm going to tell you one thing, and this is the most important thing. If you started listening to me from the beginning of this video, and you listened how I told you how to go through a year, then now is the time for you to understand. Once you are 12, you can become 13. And 13 equals the all, the one. With that comes clairvoyancy, clairaudio, all these things readers say they possess. But if you hear them speaking with their anger inside of a reading and their emotions inside of a reading, and it's hard as a reader, trust me, because if you read cards and I'm reading for a sign, you always root for that sign. And you cannot believe what is happening. But you're seeing the point of view as a reader from that sign, and you do not understand the outside. Now, I got a lot of bad comments when I started showing how the other people were thinking because of who they were, what they did. And that's not what people want to hear. And that's why people stay stuck in watching tarot. And trust me, all the good readers, and there's just a few of them on YouTube that are still really good, they have left because of this. They figured out how that things were working. And they saw that they can't help people. People can only help themselves. And if you're then gonna look at it, why are you doing tarot? Are you doing it for the cash? Are you doing it for the money that you think to get out of it? Do you want to pull some, pull one over on someone? And there's only a few readers that really do it for love and really do it for the understanding of God and why tarot is. And trust me, a lot of readers don't even know why tarot is. They don't know how tarot and astrology hang together. They're two faces of the same coin. And it's really thought out well. But this all left us from the start of religion. Mohammed got chased out of Egypt. Why? We don't really know, right? Why did everything originated out of Egypt? Why did the Jews get chased out of everything and anything? Ask yourself that. Because everything is written down. Once you start to see the reality of things, you start to understand a lot more about wars and why they are happening. It's a 5-pointed star. And each 5 years something happens. When I was reading, I said, I cannot see past 2025. And I know why. Because the timelines are shifting so hard at this moment. And they are working so hard to maintain and control, but they are in control. And they are making sure that all their stupidity is being seen. It's up to you to see it. It's up to you to understand we lost what God gave us and why He put us here. He put us here to see that all 12 of us, we are one family. And that one family, they were fighting since the origin. But first, there was infinity. Then Adam got created. He was the first sign, Aries. But infinity is a figure 8. That's Scorpio. And I've been saying it a lot. I don't want to fall back into everything I said on my channel and Scorpio is the snake. But Jesus said, I was the snake that gave you the apple. Now, if he was the Son of God, and his Father was in heaven, all these things they got ripped out of context. We'll talk another time. Plant is potted. Everything looks fine. And let's hope that it grows into a beautiful, beautiful shape until you see it next time. Okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And maybe next time